Check it out.
Top of the morning to you.
Sports Moments Podcast. Sports Moments Podcast.
Good morning, world. It is Sports Moments Podcast, episode 2. And again, it is everything related to moments. This podcast is brought to you by Jordan Moments. And again, it's your boy Jordan. And we have in the building your boys.
Young Buck, Marky Mark.
Your boy Daniel.
J.Green chilling.
Hey, and we all in the building again. This is a special episode because we did have a huge loss in the rap and the hip hop community this past week, or recently. Mack Miller, a huge mogul in the hip hop community, recently passed away. So this whole episode, we're going to be paying tribute to Mack just by playing instrumentals for Mack throughout the whole episode. So when we're doing our transitions, it'll be strictly Mack Miller instrumentals. But to get into the current events for the day, we definitely wanted to start with LeVeon Part 2.
LeVeon really not playing, man. That's like he's really not playing.
He's
you know what
really
I'm saying?
not
Like he's
playing.
really not coming to the game, getting that $850,000 check. Like he's not playing. Like he's not coming. Like he's not scoring touchdowns. He's not, being a team player. He's not getting fantasy points. You know what I mean? So, I really just Le'Veon Bell, man. It's unfortunate, man, for everybody.
I mean, I'm kind of torn, man. Like, I'm on both sides. Like, I understand he's got to get his own money. He's got to get his own bread. And especially in the NFL, the money's not guaranteed. So these guys really need to get paid. So, I mean, they only really get one chance to make this amount of money. So I get that. At the same time, wow, it's really selfish, man. It's really selfish. And I think he's really hurting the team. I don't think the Steelers lose this past week if Le'Veon's on the field.
$850,000 is a lot of money. That's more. He's making more in 2 weeks than Alvin Kamara and some of these other rookie running backs on their rookie deal are making the whole season. So I feel like $850,000. You should show up for that. There's really no excuse.
I said it last week, and I'll probably say it again. You got to trade him. I say you trade him. I say you get the value right now, and you cut ties. Obviously, he doesn't want to be there. Let's get some people that want to be there, try to contend. We obviously have the team and the roster to be contend in the AFC. Let's trade him.
Now, my perspective on this is the perspective of the player. So I'm thinking, if I'm Le'Veon, why am I just going to suit up as a one-year rental for the Steelers and be pounded to death? He's going to get the ball on damn near every possession. They had him as the top wide receiver last year, over AB, and the top running back last year as well. So, I mean, they're going to pound the rock out of him just because it's like a one-year rental. So, it's like, if you're Le'Veon, why show up if you're going to be...
Because you're a football player. That's what you do. You play football. You Pittsburgh Steelers running back, $850,000 a week. $850,000 a week.
True.
I mean, what more do you want? What do you want? I mean, you're not going to get paid like Odell. You're not going to get paid like Aaron Rodgers. Running back's dime a dozen, man, and that's the nature of the business.
But he's a lot more than a running back, bro.
Yes.
He's not just a running back. That man is basically the top receiver as well, bro. Obviously, they got AB, and, I mean, he's amazing. But, bro,
Yeah.
Le'Veon, come on, bro. It's Le'Veon, bro.
And you just said it, Mark. He's expensive.
Yeah.
Let's trade him. We don't have to pay him anymore. Let's trade him.
But we can't win games without him.
Steelers aren't going to trade.
They just tied a game
even
with
with Le'Veon Bell, what are they?
Cleveland Browns.
Third best in the AFC, fourth best. They're not going to win the Super Bowl with him. So I mean,
from the running back position, do we get production last week? If I'm the Steelers,
192 yards.
That is true.
192 yards.
True. Is it a bad question to say that the running back position wasn't the reason for the tie in that whole game? Could you blame Ben Roethlisberger for throwing how many interceptions?
I'm done with Big Ben. I mean, we're gonna finish the season, probably ride it out, but I think after the season you probably won't see.
You gotta draft somebody. You gotta get somebody in there.
So are we blaming Le'Veon?
You like Ben?
I didn't say I like Ben, and I'm saying let's not overreact to one game, man. Okay.
Well, it's not just one game. It's the AFC or divisional round last year against the Jags. What did he throw? 5 interceptions?
You're good.
I
Your
mean,
last game.
What
Let's
is he
see
doing?
what happens
Tying the Browns?
Let's see what happens
The
the rest
1
of
and
the
31 Browns? You're tying the Browns?
And I also
And you're a
stand-
Super Bowl contender? You're tying the Browns 1 and 31?
I don't know, man.
I stand on my statement that if LeVeon Bell was playing this week, they don't lose this game. They
Uh,
tied the Cleveland Browns. Much respect to Cleveland. You know they're doing a lot better. Yay! You know,
Pittsburgh
they-
going on
they
too.
got better. They tied.
I agree. I definitely. I'm kind of on both sides of it and on that, but sticking with the Cleveland Browns, we did have a huge kind of incident go on with the Cleveland Browns, and this sticks hard to my heart because it is a former Eagles player, but Mychal Kendricks gets indicted for insider trading. Insider trading, and I mean this is something that really caught me off guard because what I found or what I researched is that he only made about 1.2 million in the whole scam.
Side hustle.
In trying to do insider trading, and now he's facing up to 25 years in federal prison. What do y'all think on this topic right here?
25 years in prison, 1.2 million. I don't know what he was making in the league, but I mean, that sounds like a bad salary, man.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't know if it's worth
1.2 for 25.
25 years in prison that Mychal Kendricks is facing for insider trading.
I mean, former Eagle. I mean, you know, you're Eagles guys. What kind of character y'all have over there, man? I mean, what y'all doing in Philly, man? What y'all, I don't know how
cut
you
for a reason.
Yeah, okay.
Oh man,
I think that that's a tough situation because I respect the side hustle. I'm not. Was it a friend? Was it a friend that he got in contact with?
So you're okay with
So
it?
you're a fan.
You're okay
You're on
with
that side.
Like you feel like
You are
he
condoning insider trading.
he said he respects.
Jesus. I don't want to condone insider trading, but I respect how you can establish another hobby outside of your main source of income to find another resource. I respect that.
I feel like there's hobbies you could do that aren't going to get you 25 years in prison.
Man,
dying, bro.
I feel like on like a list, there's like a lot of places we could have stopped before we got to insider trading, man.
Insider trading, bro.
I don't know.
I think there's a lot of side hustles
That we
that we could have thought of
Limited
before
fan.
insider trading for 1.2 mil, bro. 1.2 mil. That's insane to
It
me.
just
bro.
sucks. I mean, he obviously got persuaded by the wrong people. Like, that's
Yeah,
what,
man.
What it comes down to. Someone was selling something, he bought it, got sold to the wrong guy.
Obviously, Mychal Kendricks
Having a
is.
side hustle, you gotta have that side hustle.
Yeah, man. So you got jokes today. Obviously, you're not taking too much serious.
And speaking of jokes, just kind of moving on to the next topic. I don't know if y'all have seen this Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, we saw
This
the Marshawn.
Marshawn Lynch high school photo. I don't know if y'all seen the memes. I don't know if you've seen the link. We will post a link in the description below. You have to check out this high school photo. Marshawn Lynch looks like a totally different
Marshawn Lynch went from AP English to
dude. to thug in Harlem, man. Like,
Crenshaw Mafia, California, man. This guy.
Like, I don't know. It was Transformation Tuesday at his finest, bro.
Oh, man.
I don't know what happened to Marshawn, but he went from...
Marshawn went from 1604 and 281 to the east side, man.
Marshawn made some moves. I don't know what people he was hanging around. I don't know what people him or Michael.
That's all.
He went from Marshall to Marshawn.
Marshall to Marshawn. Shout out Marshall, baby.
Shout out Marsh times 3.
Shout out Marsh.
They say that you're an average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
True.
Smith and Thompson didn't beat.
True. That is a good way to wrap up this segment. And before we move on from current events, again, it's Mack Miller tribute episode. Instrumentals by Mack only.
Somebody do something.
Somebody do something. All right, and we are back right now we're just gonna go ahead and get started with the week 1 roundup. And
Saints suck.
bro, we can start with that.
The Saints don't suck.
Fitzpatrick, best quarterback in football?
Nah, I mean, we ain't gonna
He
say
had
all
the
that.
best week
bro.
of his life.
Best quarterback in
Obviously, he had
Harvard.
the best week of his life.
Bro,
That's the Saints defense. That's Dan
He had the
Marino
best week of his
playing.
life.
bro.
Joe
Literally,
Montana was
bro.
quarterbacking last Sunday for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's what it looked like, honestly. If we're gonna talk about that game to start, what was the score?
48-40.
48. No. Let's not even start with that
You know
score,
what?
bro. Because that doesn't give the game justice, bro. It was not 48-40. It was not a 48-40 game, bro. It was. What was the score at halftime? 31-17. Was it 31-17? Am I correct on
I had
that?
the Saints
It might have even been worse than that.
minus 10. The Saints lost by 8.
Bro,
Fitzpatrick out here looking like the next coming of Troy Aikman.
that's. I mean,
John Elway.
John Elway, there it is.
John Elway.
There
I
it is.
mean,
he
There it
did.
is.
it's
Denver Bronco. Certified.
So, are we believing in the hype of Fitzpatrick, or is it really that the
Fitzpatrick
Saints suck?
is about as good.
I think it's a little bit of both. A little bit of both.
Okay.
I think Fitzpatrick is solid. Solid 81 on Madden.
Oh god.
Solid 81 on Madden. No, he's decent. It's a game manager.
Okay,
right? It's
okay.
decent.
I think Fitzpatrick goes undrafted in most Madden.
I would think
drafts.
so. I would think so
But
as
what is he
well.
overall on Madden?
I'm not
Not
sure,
good, a
honestly.
backup,
Probably
which is
not-
what he is
not
in
an
real
80.
life.
He's not 81.
I don't
fair.
think he was
The
80.
thing that you got to think about is, do you trade Jameis Winston?
He's just trying to
Okay, so
everybody.
Dre's on his
Dre's
trade wave.
trading everybody.
If Dre's a GM for you, he's gonna be looking
right.
to
If
trade
you got a
somebody.
bag of chips and a grape soda, you gone for it. Dre trading you.
But just kind of moving on down a couple more games that we had going on throughout the week. Khalil Mack.
How dumb do the Raiders look?
Khalil Mack with his first appearance with the Chicago Bears. He
He
looked
in the
like
league besides Von Miller.
I don't know.
John Dumbass Gruden coaching the Raiders.
I honestly think that he won Defensive Player of the Year in that game.
Somebody should arrest the
He
GM
had
from
a
Chicago
forced fumble.
because he robbed John
Yeah,
Gruden.
he
last
did.
week,
Fourth fumble
2 weeks
strip
ago.
sack and a pick six.
Yeah, bro. I mean,
And then how many sacks did he have?
The greatest
At least,
first half of all time.
that was really honestly probably one of the greatest
His
defensive.
first game.
The first game, no practice, barely any. Allen Iverson. What did Allen Iverson say? Practice. Practice.
Talk about
Not a
practice.
game. not a
No
game.
practice.
Talking about
Khalil Mack goes out there, and what does he have, Daniel? What are
a
the stats?
strip sack, fumble, and a pick six.
A
and at
pick
least
six.
like 2 or 3 sacks, bro.
Bro, the man went out there and straight dominated. The Packers look damn near dead. Aaron Rodgers looks like he tore his ACL. It breaks his knee. But the big but. What is it, Dre? What do you have for
Bad
it?
man.
The
Stephen A. Smith quotes.
Badass.
That's a
man.
bad man.
What is that? Explain that butt, Dre. What happened, man?
Aaron Rodgers happened. That's what happened.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Did anybody else see the fourth quarter?
Fourth
Or-
quarter,
or
Aaron
was I by
Rodgers.
myself?
Fourth quarter, Aaron Rodgers, bro. 17-point comeback in the fourth
Were you
quarter.
surprised? Were
That's
you
the thing.
surprised?
I wasn't.
I really
It-
was.
Like, I'm not as shocked, you know.
It's crazy though because it was the greatest comeback of his career, but
And-
it's like it was like clockwork.
And it looked like a cakewalk.
It's crazy,
It
bro.
looked like a Philly cheesesteak cakewalk.
bro.
It was
was
about right.
It was really
Like,
crazy.
Okay,
but-
yeah, sounds about right.
But what happened though? It was like Khalil Mack was dominating in that first half, and then it just
Ran out of gas. Got outplayed.
Adjustments.
adjustments.
The Packers made adjustments. They changed their offense. They're like, okay, you guys aren't going to touch us anymore. So they started getting the ball out of there in like 2-3 seconds.
True.
And they just moved the ball up. Then
True.
the defense couldn't play up as much. And then now we start spreading the field a little bit more.
I mean,
Plays start getting
it
made.
helps that Trubisky is terrible.
Well-
so it's 3 and out every time he gets the ball. You know, when you get 18 possessions to your 6, I mean, you know, it's tough to score points, man. I mean,
think he's
Trubisky's.
terrible.
I mean, he's not as bad as Dak Prescott. But
Oh,
he's pretty bad.
here we go.
So,
here we
I
go.
mean,
the Dak train. But other people that looked really bad this weekend.
That's Stafford.
Matt Stafford,
Oh my God.
Detroit Lions. What was going on with the what?
Favorite.
Favorite?
The favorite, bro.
Trash.
Off the Belichick tree line, coaching line.
Yes,
I
bro.
can't think of his name.
I can't
but,
think of his name either right now, but he looked Matt Patricia. He looked completely like lost for words, bro.
Is he
Like,
a 7th grade B team coach?
Like
I
that's
mean,
what
who
it-
is he?
His
No,
team looked
he's
like
a
a team.
he's a phenomenal coach. He couldn't believe how bad of a team he has. That's like looking at his like that's what his face was like. He genuinely could not believe.
But
some of the things that were happening. He was
is
like,
his team that's that bad?
my
Because
God.
did this happen to the Lions last year under Jim
Effort.
Caldwell?
Effort.
Is it because of the coach, or did we not give enough credit to Sam Darnold coming out with the Jets?
If you look at it, well,
Rookie.
Sam Darnold. I mean, after the pick six, I thought, man, Detroit's winning by 4.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, man.
And I mean, after that pick six, it was, I mean, Peyton Manning Jr.
Yeah,
I mean,
really,
the
score
guys
was like
throwing
48.
touchdowns.
It was like 48-17.
Yeah,
That
somewhere
defense.
around there.
If I'm not mistaken, they were nailing the ball with like 6 minutes left.
Yeah, bro. It was.
I've
it was
seen.
Really like
I saw the
game
Lions
changer.
quit, bro. In that third quarter, there was like 2 punt returns. There was like a pick six,
Bro.
There was like
A deep ball, a deep ball.
There was like a
Miami.
70-yard run by the running back.
Yeah,
I was just like, oh, so
yeah.
no one's trying at all today. It's like it was
I mean-
just a lack of effort, like Dre said. Is that always an indictment on the coach, though?
You gotta get your players ready to play.
Yeah, I mean that is a big thing.
I mean,
about
and
it,
then you
man.
gotta think about the play calling too. The defense said they knew the signal, the hand signal.
Yeah,
so, I
man,
mean, are you
that
not
is
changing
so
up?
key in.
Are
That
you
is
not
very
changing
true.
up your signals
2
from
strikes
year
on
to
the coach.
year? I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
2 strikes.
3 strikes you're out.
You know, because Matthew
But the coach
Stafford was
doesn't
7 years,
play.
4,000 yards passing, 1 year with 5,000. I mean,
Yeah,
he's not
man.
a bad quarterback.
Not
He's
at
better
all.
than Dak Prescott. So I mean, you have a quarterback capable. I mean, you gotta get your defense ready to play, right?
Yeah, man.
Belichick's defensive coordinator, they look lost out there with a rookie quarterback.
Did all the rookie first year coaches lose week 1?
Yeah,
That is a fact.
That's a crazy
That
stat.
is a crazy stat. All first year rookie coaches this year
Welcome to the
lost.
league.
Welcome to the NFL. Shout out to Dre for that statistic. That was huge. And again, just kind of based off of what we saw this weekend, I want to go around and just ask everybody, what is your power rankings? What do you have as your top 5 NFL teams right now? And then what are
In
your,
order? Are we doing in order? Or
we
doing
can. I
top
want to
five?
do in order
In
for the
order?
top 5.
Okay.
And then what I also want to do is for the bottom 5, I want you to give me your top order, as in your top team is
30,
number
29,
32.
28,
It's
20.
32, 31. Like,
Got you.
And that's
Like-
fine. I think.
I go ahead and-
I think a good list right now. I'm sorry at the bottom.
You wanna start with the bottom
I'm
first
sorry
and then go to the
I'm
top?
bottom right
Give
now.
me your
Yeah.
give the bottom
I
5.
got
Go to the bottom.
the worst team in the league right now. Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
I 100% agree
I'm
with
gonna go with the
that.
Buffalo Bills. And I mean, we all saw the game against the Ravens last week.
The Ravens.
Oh my goodness.
Ravens a good team.
I
man.
mean,
Ravens were 1 game away from the playoffs last year.
Not that.
But at the
Playing
end of the
game,
day,
week 16.
I got them at the bottom.
Yeah, definitely.
Second to last. We just literally talked about them. The
Okay.
Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions. Yeah, man.
Terrible effort we saw.
Really bad.
I don't think it's the quarterback's fault. I think we said before it's the coaching. To follow that up, we got the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Washington put it on him.
I think Washington did
Washington put it on him.
Yeah.
did
they
put. I guess what you could say. I guess a good spread on them as well. They different colored the spread, Charlotte spread.
True.
And as following them up, I have the 49ers. I think they have.
Wow.
I think they have some ways to go on where they want to go. I think Jimmy G doesn't deserve to have that nickname yet. So I'm gonna keep it at that.
Okay.
And like I said, the last one I have the Miami Dolphins.
Ooh,
I think they need
good
to
one.
kind of get together. I think the running back situation is not what they need to switch up. I think Keon Drake is gonna get the ball a lot. But I think the defense needs to step it up. I got them as number 25.
It should.
How does a team that won, that's 1-0, over teams that are only
It doesn't matter.
lost? Why does that?
Doesn't matter. I
Well-
think that's not an indictment to the team. There was a weird delay, if I'm not mistaken. It's
6 hours. I'm sorry, 5 hours, 45
I mean,
minutes.
that doesn't
Two rain delays.
Doesn't matter to me.
That was
Yeah.
It was a weird game, obviously.
That was a
Weird
really
game,
weird
but
game.
I have it one
So
of
you
the
think
worst
that
teams.
okay?
I mean, my bottom 5 is a little different. Obviously, the worst team in the league is the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think we
that's-
can all agree on that.
Buffalo Bills are the worst team in the league.
Absolutely.
I have the Indianapolis Colts and Mr. I haven't played in 2 years, Andrew Luck.
Yeah, I agree.
He is terrible.
Okay.
Dak Prescott's better than him. Maybe.
Wow. Wow.
Hot take.
That is a hot take.
I mean, I have Detroit, right? I mean, just almost as bad. Just a little bit not as bad. I guess you could say they suck a little bit less. They Then I got the 49ers as well. 49ers are pretty bad, man. I mean, you look at their defense, and it's like, who are these guys? You know, like I don't understand if any of these guys are real pros. And then the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, they're pretty bad.
Yeah.
The Skins really, put it to them. I mean, it is the Skins. It is the Washington Redskins. Alex Smith quarterbacking back there. You know, much better than Dak Prescott. You know, the Redskins put it on them, but Cardinals are pretty bad, man.
True. So, Daniel, what you
Mine's
got?
pretty much the exact same. It just switch up the orders a little bit. So obviously Buffalo is the worst. Okay, everyone agrees. Everyone consensus. Everyone agrees. Okay.
I agree.
Second, I also do have Detroit.
Oh, okay.
As the second. So I'm sorry, I'm going obviously second to worst. They are also second to worst for me. The Detroit Lions. I just don't think that they're that good. It's just that simple for me. The Cardinals for me are right behind them. Right behind them is also San Francisco. I'm not high on the 49ers either.
What?
And then for me, this might be a hot take to some people, but for me, it's the Giants.
Ooh, man.
If I could just squeeze in my sixth worst team real quick.
Can you do that?
Yeah,
Squeeze in my sixth.
go
The
ahead.
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
The
I agree.
Cowboys are the sixth worst team in football.
I wasn't impressed by the Cowboys at
No
all.
personal feelings there at all, right?
When Dak Prescott's quarterback, and it's kind of hard to have a good team. I mean,
Zero personal bias there at all, right?
I mean,
Zero.
Well, if I was just to go ahead and name off my bottom five again, I think we can all agree that the Buffalo Bills are the worst team in the NFL right now. And going up to the second worst team in the NFL, I have the Cardinals before the Lions. I have the Lions right after the Cardinals. This may be a hot take, but I really was not impressed at all in the slightest by the Raiders on Monday night against the Rams. I really thought they were really just not impressive at all on both sides of the ball. I think they did all right in the first half on defense against the Rams, but again, the Rams kind of blew that up in the second half. And to end my bottom five for the NFL, I have the Colts with Andrew Luck. I was not impressed. I do think Andrew Luck is better than Dak Prescott, but again, not impressed with the Colts this week. But since we just named off our bottom five, I want to go ahead and kind of reiterate, but we're going to go ahead and do the top five. So, Dre, who do you have for your top five?
For number 5, I'm going to go with a team that looked impressive off their week 1 win. I think I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers at number 5.
Okay.
Just because
so we're going 5,
Rodgers.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, we can do
I
that.
think that's a good order for me. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with the Green Bay Packers just because of Aaron Rodgers. I think he can do it. But the reason why I have him at 5 is because that defense is obviously something to kind of think about sometimes. But I think Aaron Rodgers puts him in position to win.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with them as number 4. I got the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Vikings did look good last week. I know with new
Captain Checkdown.
I think with a new quarterback, they are kind of interesting. But I think still I got them at 4. Still got a lot to prove to me. With number 3, this may be another sleeper pick, but maybe not the Jags. I got the Jags as number 3. That defense is always impressive. That swag is through the roof right now. I got that. Number 2, I have New England, and I think that's why I'm being said. Without them being until they really beat themselves, I got them as a strong contender in the league. And the number 1, still king. We still got the Philadelphia Eagles. I think was still without having Carson Wentz on the field, still managing to get a win. A really good team against the Atlanta Falcons. So they were at full strength. They were at full strength. I know they did lose a key
They were at
member on
full
the
strength, lost their best safety in the first quarter.
You can only play with who's in front of you. So
Yeah,
I mean,
agree.
at the end of the day, the Eagles are still number 1 in my power rankings.
My top 5, starting with 5. I'm going to go Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I like it.
Kansas City Chiefs at 5. I mean, Pat Mahomes looks like the real deal.
I like it.
Pat Mahomes looks like the real deal. At 4, there's a couple different people. I mean, the 4 through 1 is the order's kind of, you could kind of slide people where you want to. At 4, I got the New England Patriots.
Okay.
Beat Houston. Houston, up-and-coming team. Definitely got some talent on them. At 3, Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers. What can he say? I mean, the Aaron Rodgers, fourth quarter comeback against Khalil Mack. Looked impressive. At 2, Washington Redskins. I mean, new quarterback. Defense gave up.
Oh my god!
Defense gave up 168 yards for the game.
Oh my god!
For the whole game, total offense gave up 168.
man.
And number one, I got the LA Rams, man. You got the best running back in football.
Okay.
You have the best top 3 receiving core in football.
I like it too.
You have probably the second best defense in football.
I like it too.
I mean, you're tough all around, man. You know, it's
Not even a conversation.
wow. Rams are the best team in football right now.
Okay.
Well, I think I'm gonna have the most unbiased top 5.
Okay.
So the most accurate in that opinion. That being said, top 5, number 5, we're going with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
And I'm gonna preface this by saying that obviously 5-1 is obviously is a pick 'em, right? Obviously they're all kind of even. That being said, except for number 1. Number 5, Jacksonville Jaguars. I like their defense. They have the best defense in the league. It's that simple for me. I like to see a lot more from their quarterback. I just don't believe in Blake yet, but I really think that they should have gone after quarterback more this offseason, but that's a different conversation for a different time. 4, I got the New England Patriots. Tom Brady, Gronk, can't stop it. It's that simple. For me. And then moving forward, number 3, the Kansas City Chiefs for sure. I don't know if y'all saw the game that I saw this past weekend, but Tyreek Hill is a monster. And he's just such a mismatch. It's unbelievable. Like Travis Kelce didn't even get involved, and he's arguably a top 3, top 2 tight end behind Gronk. Second, I got the Philadelphia Eagles. For me, it's just as simple as they won the Super Bowl last year. They didn't really lose that much. They're still the Eagles. It's just that simple for me. And until someone knocks them off, or until they go defeated and lose every game, then I'm gonna have them here. The number 1 is the Los Angeles Rams, the best team in the league. Zero conversation. We have nothing to talk about. They have the best running back in the league. Have the second best, the best top 3 defense in the league, however you want to put it. Pick 6 with Marcus Peters like that. I like seeing that a lot. It's just that simple for me. They're a great team. They're steamrolling through the league this year, and I can't wait to see what they do.
Well, if I'm gonna go ahead and give my power rankings for the top 5, to start with number 5, I have the Jaguars. I think they did pretty good this weekend with the Giants. Also at number 4, I have the Chiefs. I have the Kansas City Chiefs. Again, I will back up that sentiment that Patrick Mahomes looks like the real deal.
Y'all are high on the Chiefs.
I think the Chiefs are.
Were you watching the same game or no?
Oh, he only watches the Eagles game.
That makes sense.
I think the Chiefs look pretty good this weekend. And then at number 3, I have the Minnesota Vikings.
Captain Checkdown.
Captain Checkdown. I'm not high on people. I'm on the Vikings like people are, just like how they're high on the Saints and all that. But I do have them in my top 5 for this week. At number 2, I do have the Los Angeles Rams. The Los Angeles Rams, they looked pretty good against the Oakland Raiders. That first half I thought wasn't that great, but they pulled it out against again the Raiders. But what wasn't that impressive to me was that it was the Raiders, and the Raiders are, again, if you listen to my bottom 5, they were in my bottom 5. So they just beat a bottom 5 team if you're asking me. And then for my number 1, again, I definitely have the Philadelphia Eagles as my power ranking top 1. They went in and they played Atlanta with Nick Foles as the starting quarterback. Nigel Bradham was out that game as well. They handled business. They let the Atlanta Falcons, a powerful offense, only put up 12 points against them, which I thought was pretty impressive without Nigel Bradham. So again, I'll definitely have the Eagles at my number 1. And I think it's only going to get better this week. End with the Buccaneers. All right, again, that ends our week 1 roundup. And again, as we mentioned at the beginning of the episode, we will only be playing Mac Miller instrumentals throughout this episode. So again, enjoy another instrumental as we prepare for our next segment. All right. We are back, And again, before we get into the next segment, I definitely wanted to touch on this Hurricane Florence that's about to hit North Carolina this morning, or that I'm not too sure if it's already hit the coast this morning. But definitely wanted to just give our prayers out to everybody that's being affected by this hurricane. This is the biggest hurricane that's hit North Carolina since Hurricane Fran back in 1996. Just wanted to send prayers out to everybody. Make sure that you're staying safe. Please take warnings seriously. We do have Dre here, and he's going to give a couple of tips right now as far as just preparing for the hurricane on the East Coast.
And what you want to do is definitely try to secure some loose items. Make sure everything like that is secure. Make sure that you have guard and entries on the windows, things like that. Get food, water, and also one most important thing people don't think about sometimes is update your insurance because some people don't have flood insurance. So definitely want to update that before things definitely go down.
That's definitely a couple of good points there by Dre. Again, take these warnings seriously. This is a huge nature occurrence. Can't really stop what nature has for us. So take these warnings seriously. Again, listen to the tips that Dre just gave. Just kind of stay in tune with your local law enforcement and kind of stay in tune with what's going on around you. But the reason that we wanted to start off this segment with the mention of Hurricane Florence, one of our callers from the $120 Fantasy Football League, J.Green, is going to be in here today. And he is actually out in Guam. And he's actually dealing with a typhoon out in Guam as well. So we wanted to reach out to J.Green, talk to him about the typhoon for a second, talk to him about his thoughts on his New Orleans Saints, who had a bad weekend this weekend. But here we go, and we're going to go ahead and get on this phone call with James.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Yo, what is up, J.Green? What is up?
Yo, what's up, brother?
What's up, my boy, J.Green? He's out in Guam. And again, this podcast is brought to you by Jordan Moments, everything related to moments. And again, it's your boy Jordan. But J.Green, just let's start with where you're at right now. We know you're in Guam. What time is it up there in Guam right now?
Oh man, it's late, man. It's 11 at night. I think I'm about 15 hours ahead of you. So my day's over, your day's just beginning.
True.
And yeah, man, shoot, I'm about to go to sleep after this.
Definitely understand that, man. I definitely don't blame you. And we were just kind of talking on the show about the hurricane that's about to hit North Carolina. And I know we were talking like a little bit earlier in the week about how you're dealing with a typhoon out there in Guam. How is everything kind of going out there for you right now as far as kind of being safe?
Yeah, exactly, man. First off, man, my prayers to, I know you got family in North Carolina.
True.
I have some family on the East Coast as well.
True.
So prayers to the people that are about to go through the hurricane. But yeah, man. So we got here about a month ago, and they told us that we have typhoons and whatnot. The only difference between that and a hurricane really is the positioning in the world. There's no really difference. So yeah, we went through our first typhoon.
Okay.
And to be honest, man, it was a Category 1/Category 2, so it wasn't too crazy.
Okay.
But it's by far the worst storm that I've ever been through in my life, man.
Wow.
It was pretty bad.
Wow. And I mean that's kind of impressive just hearing your edge or your perspective on that. And I mean that's only a Category 1 or a Category 2.
Exactly.
And what's about to hit the East Coast this weekend is a Category 4. So again, to all our listeners out there, please take warnings seriously. This is going to be a pretty big hurricane out there, so we want y'all to stay safe. But James, we do have a couple more questions for you, football related. And we're going to go ahead and pass that off to my boy Dre here, and he has a couple questions for you.
Dre be chilling here. Hey, James, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Pretty good, bro. Pretty good. I want to try to get into it. I know you say you're about to go to sleep, but hopefully your Saints aren't too sleep this weekend, bro. I mean, what happened to them last weekend, man? I want to get your take on it.
Ooh, that's a rough question, man. That's a sensitive topic. But I'll tell you what I saw, man. I watched the game at 3 in the morning. So,
true fan.
Man,
Yeah,
our defense was terrible. We didn't have any stats. I don't know if you saw on Twitter, but Cam Jordan, after the game, man, he was livid. He put all the blame on the defense. And I actually do the same thing, man. The defense gave up 41 points out of the 48, not counting the fumble return for a touchdown, man. But it was trash, and I can't wait to see the bounce back.
And I mean, I know that obviously, you know, it's only week 1, so you want to overreact. Do you have like a prediction for the rest of the season? Like, kind of get like a overall record for y'all?
Yeah, man. So I was looking at the schedule probably about 2 weeks ago. I was thinking, I mean, without that first loss, man, I was thinking 12-4. And I'm still going to ride that out. I'm still going to say 12-4 because I think maybe 1 or 2 of those L's that I predicted, maybe hopefully Drew Brees and the Saints can get an upset.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that's a fair thing, especially being in the NFC. I know it's gonna be tough. Like I say, you know, I'm an Eagles fan, man, so I know that we'll probably see y'all.
I can't wait till we play y'all, man.
and I know I got that date circle as well. Like I said, I'm obviously kind of on my side. I think I'm probably gonna take that game, but I think right now I like the running game that y'all have. I know the offense is gonna be solid. Do you have any takes on the AFC? Do you have like anything going on in the AFC? Do you have any favorites on that side?
Oh man, to be honest, I'm so hooked on the NFC South right now. The 4 teams, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, Carolina, and New Orleans. But I've seen Tom Brady, man, and the older he gets, I feel like the better he gets. I've never seen it. Him and LeBron are just on a different level, you know?
Good comparison.
Definitely agree.
I feel like for sure the Patriots are going to have another good year.
Just kind of switching over to fantasy, James. This is Marky Mark. How you feel about your fantasy team, man? I think you're 1-0 in the $120 league, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I'm 0-1.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, actually, I was kind of sarcasm, man. I was trying to get Adrian Peterson off you, man. You wouldn't trade him, so I'm kind of glad you lost.
I feel like one of these crazy trades that I'm sending all you guys. I feel like one of y'all are going to accidentally accept one of them, and that's my whole season around.
Hey, man, I'm shopping Le'Veon Bell, man. If you got a bag of chips, man, maybe a half a drink soda or something, you can get Le'Veon Bell off you, man.
I'll go. I got a copy right here. I'll send it your way. I'll take Le'Veon.
Hey, man, sounds good, man. What are your predictions for fantasy this year? Where do you see yourself going?
Oh man, I'm gonna be realistic. I'm gonna say a solid. Oh man, 8 wins.
8 wins.
8 wins.
I don't know if that gets you in the playoffs, man. But you know, fantasy's tough, definitely, man.
Do you think you get into the playoffs with an 8-win season?
Jordan, as long as I beat you, that's all that matters.
Great answer. I definitely respect that. And I mean, just touching back on the division that you're talking about as far as the NFC South. I compare the NFC South a lot to the NFC East. I think they're the 2 toughest divisions in football, if you ask me. How do you think the Saints kind of stack up in that division with those teams?
And just being 100% honest, I think it's going to be 3 easy wins. I think we're going to destroy the Cowboys.
Okay.
I think we're going to kill the Giants.
Okay.
And I think we're also going to destroy the Redskins. I think our toughest matchup is probably going to be you and your Eagles.
Okay.
Just being realistic, man. They're a great team. Obviously, winning the Super Bowl last year with your second string quarterback, and that defense, that defensive line. It's definitely a game that we're going to have to be 100% on just to keep up with y'all.
Hey, James, Mark again, man. Have you been drinking tonight?
No, I haven't. No, not yet.
The Redskins are tough, man. The Redskins are tough. Alex Smith is tough, man.
I haven't cracked one open yet, man. I might after this.
I probably wouldn't if I were you, man. You might be all right.
James, you gotta deal with Mark. He's a huge Redskins fan. He's gonna back up the Redskins. He's been talking about how he thinks Alex Smith is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott.
Oh, come on, man. We're still doing that? He's a better quarterback than
That's
Dak
a story
Prescott,
for another time.
Hey, the way Dak Prescott played the other day against Carolina, man, you might be right.
Hey, man. And just kind of based off of how he was playing that game, I mean, I can't really disagree with you. But, I mean, Super Bowl predictions. Before we get off the phone with you, James, we definitely want to get your Super Bowl predictions for this year. Who do you have in the big game? Who wins the big game? And what is the final score of that game?
Those are some big questions. I'm going to go with New Orleans Saints
Okay.
in the NFC against the New England Patriots.
Woo!
The last time the Saints won a Super Bowl, we beat Peyton Manning, so I want to knock off Tom Brady this time.
Okay.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay.
I like
Yeah,
it.
so,
Join the Eagles.
So I think the Saints are going to win,
Okay.
and I actually think it's going to be 31-17.
31-17.
Our last Super Bowl win.
Ooh, I like it. I like the prediction. James has the New Orleans Saints 31, the New England Patriots 17 in Super Bowl 53. And James, before we let you go today, we definitely want to thank you. You don't know how much that means to us back here at home, but we definitely appreciate you doing everything that you do for the country. And again, we just want to say thank you for your time on the show this morning. Do you have any last words or last kind of statements that you want to throw out to everybody out there before we let you go?
Nah, man, I just want to appreciate it, man. It was my pleasure being on the show. Thanks for having me. Thanks for everything, man. I appreciate it.
All right, well, James, we appreciate your time. We look forward to getting you on the show again later on in the season. But we definitely appreciate your time this morning. Stay safe out there in Guam with the typhoon. Stay in touch. We definitely look forward to speaking with you again.
Absolutely, brother. Thanks, man.
All right, James. Appreciate your time, man.
Of course, man. Y'all have a good one, man.
All right, you too,
James,
bro.
stay safe, bro.
All right, later, bro.
All right. You know what time it is. It is prediction time. And today we have 5 games that we're going to talk about. And to start today, you know what it is. We have the Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. Who's going to win this game today?
Got Ravens big.
The Ravens
big. 38-14.
Oh, snap. 38-14. Mark.
Let's not sleep on
Cincinnati.
Let's not sleep on Cincinnati.
I think they play hard for Marvin. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But
She said.
I can't believe he's still there either.
Bro,
Daniel.
But
I
Side
genuinely
note.
can't.
I got the Ravens safe on today.
Okay.
2-0. So yeah, Ravens.
What's the score?
You say the score?
Yeah.
38-14. What you think?
Oh, I got
Don't take
27-7.
27-7. 27-7.
They cover.
I think Cincinnati's gonna win.
Oh!
The score is going to be 28-21.
28-21. 28-21. Daniel has the Cincinnati Bengals beating the Ravens. I'm also going to go ahead and ride the Raven train on this one. I think the Ravens will pull out this victory. I think it'll be a close game, though. So I have 24-21 Baltimore Ravens over the Bengals. And we did do a Madden simulation for this game. Madden predicted that Cincinnati would come out on top on this one. 24-16.
Sounds about right.
24-16. Madden has Cincinnati coming out over Baltimore.
Sounds about right.
Go ahead and check out the Madden simulation for that game. It is available on our YouTube page. You can definitely check it out there.
Subscribe.
Subscribe to the channel as well. Do not forget to subscribe. But going on to the next game, we did have 5 games this week, and the next game is the Eagles and Buccaneers. We will always cover the Eagles on this podcast. Who is going to win that game this week?
I'll say it. Nobody want to talk. I'll say, Fitzpatrick balling. That defense going to give up a lot of points from the Buccaneers, so that'll cancel out. I got the Eagles probably by 2 scores. Maybe 35-17?
35-17 Eagles.
I'm going to say Eagles 28-14.
28-14 Eagles.
I got Eagles as well. I got 28-7.
28-7 Eagles. I also have the Eagles as well in this one. I'm going to say 28-14. I'll say 28-14 as well in that one. And then moving down to the next game, which is another big game, another divisional game. We have the Vikings at the Packers, 2 1-0 teams. Who's going to bring that one home? this weekend.
Aaron Rodgers will be leaving 2-0 at
Lambeau.
Green Bay. At a Lambeau. He'll be 2-0.
He's on Lambeau Field.
Danica show up to the game. She out there putting on for Danica. Danica looked good too last
Is he
week.
playing? Like for sure? Like he's fine?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's gonna play.
Aaron Rodgers plays. I got Green Bay in a close one. Probably late fourth quarter comeback. Probably 28-27.
28-27. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's really simple. Is if Aaron Rodgers is playing, then the Packers win. If he doesn't play, then they don't win. It's
Okay.
really that simple for me. So
Okay.
if Aaron Rodgers wins, if Aaron Rodgers plays, then I think it's Packers 28-24,
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
And then if he doesn't play, then it's Vikings 35-14.
Oh wow, that's a huge
14.
difference.
But I got the Packers as well. They're going 2-0. I think they have a pretty close game though. I think 35-31 would be the spread. I think the over is good on that game.
Okay. I have the Packers winning as well. I do think it's going to be a really low scoring game though. I'm thinking maybe like 21 to 24 Packers. And we also did a Madden simulation on this game as well that you can check out on our YouTube page. Again, go ahead and subscribe to that YouTube page. But Madden predicted for this game that Minnesota would come out as the winning team against Green Bay, 26-17. So Green Bay loses in Lambeau to Minnesota for the third time in a row, according to Madden. But moving on down to the fourth game of the week that we're going to be covering is the Patriots and the Jaguars. That is America's game of the week, the AFC divisional game rematch. Who do you all have taking this game away?
That's going to be a really fun game to watch.
A really good game.
A really fun game to watch. I think with the way that the energy is going to be for that defense against Tom Brady, I think they're going to try to show out. It's going to be really aggressive. It's going to be really aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they get to him. I got Jags 21-16.
21-16 Jags.
I like where you're going with that. I still think that the Patriots are going to pull it out as like Tom Brady. And for me, like going back to what I was saying before with Blake, man, I just don't think that the Jaguars score enough points.
I can see that though.
I think that the Patriots just simply outscore the Jaguars. I understand that their defense is nice. I mean, no one's disagreeing with that. But, I mean, it's Tom Brady, bro. And like I said, Tom Brady and Gronk, you're not beating that. I think it's the Patriots 21-17.
21-17. I like that score.
I got the Jags getting all over Tom Brady and Gronk
Yeah, okay.
and Belichick.
Getting all over them.
That defense causes problems. I'm not sold on New England's receivers. I don't know if anyone gets open. Can't throw it to Gronk every time.
True.
We can, but I don't know if that beats you though. I think Blake Bortles scores enough. I think the Jaguars score a couple times off defense, good field position.
Mm-hmm.
Got the Jags 24-14.
Okay. I also have the Jaguars taking away this game in Jacksonville against the Patriots. I do think it's going to be kind of like one of those. The Seahawks played the Broncos, and it looked like an absolute. Like I think it's going to be something of that nature. I'm definitely thinking the Jags pull out an aggressive win to get that rematch going. And I want to say I'm going to have the Jags 28, and I have the Patriots at 14. So I have the Jags winning by 2 touchdowns. And to end the weekend, the last game we will cover, since we're in San Antonio, unfortunately, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Giants. Who's going to win this game? Primetime night, primetime game. Who's going to win this game between the Giants and the Cowboys?
Dak Prescott is pretty below average. I mean, I don't know if this is going to be much of a game. I got the Giants big, man.
Wow.
35-14.
Dog, bro.
Where are they playing?
In
Jerry World.
They're playing in Jerry World.
Oh, in Jerry World. Okay, I'll take it back. Let me.
I was like,
My bad. They're in Jerry World. I give Dak 3 scores. I go 35-21 to Giants.
You think the Giants? Oh, maybe
I
they
don't
got a
think the
big
Giants
powerful
put up
offense.
35 points.
Me neither, but I mean,
They have Saquon
I
and Odell.
respect. They have Saquon and Odell, but they have Eli throwing it. So
yeah, I agree.
I like.
Two-time Super Bowl champion.
Yeah,
He gets
that was a long time.
2-time
ago.
MVP.
It was a long time ago, and he had like the greatest front four. A long time.
Well, he's playing against Dak.
I like. You're wrong. It's okay. I like the Giants actually as well, but I don't like 35-21.
Wasn't that
I
wrong?
like. I know. I was just playing. You're right sometimes. I'm liking 21-17. I like 21-17.
21-17 is Daniel's little go-to number for today.
It makes sense. Man.
Everybody scores 21.
Yeah, 21.
For the last game, I have
What's 50
the
minus
Giants.
13? 21.
Face.
The Giants. I got the Giants against the. You stupid.
21.
Alright, bro.
Oh man.
So I got the Giants against.
Bro, we know who they playing. Face.
I got the Giants beating the Cowboys 28-14.
28-14.
So they cover their spread for sure again.
True. And then again, just going off of just kind of the teams, man. Cowboys is just not impressive to me. Giants. Dak is not a game manager to me, but I definitely think he has nobody to throw it to. It's just him and Zeke, honestly.
Who's throwing it?
The whole team. The whole team, all I'm thinking about is him and Zeke. But I do have the Giants winning that game. I don't think they scored too many points. I think it's going to be a close one. So I'm thinking 24-17. But I do have the Giants pulling that one out in Jerry World. All right, and that concludes the predictions for the week. And like we said at the beginning of the episode, we will only be playing Mac Miller instrumentals. Definitely want to pay tribute to the boy. Rest in peace, Mac Miller. We definitely miss you. All right, and that is the end of the show. We appreciate everybody's time. We appreciate you tuning in to the show this morning. And again, stay tuned for more episodes coming from Sports Moments Podcast. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on Anchor, on SoundCloud, wherever you find this podcast. Subscribe to the channel.
Somebody do something.
Somebody do something. Do it for the movement. Do it for the moments. And again, it's your boy Jordan. And we out.
Sports Moments Podcast. Sports Moments Podcast. Sports Moments Podcast.
Complete bike, on my feet, keep my cipher.